Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about learning a little bit of coloring techniques in Photoshop. So what we're going to be doing essentially is I'm going to show you some unique things you can be doing using the layers panel in Photoshop. You can use this as a theory, so you can keep experimenting as you go. Or you can just take this as you get it, but I'm telling you there's more you can do. So for example, we're going to quickly draw a green circle. Alright. But we'll say, well, let me create a new layer and do that. Gotta love the layers. Okay, so there's so many things you can do. For example, we create a new layer here, switch this to overlay, and change it to black. You can add a shadow to it, which is kind of really freaking cool. And then you could add some white, which is also a lighter shade to this color. This is a good way of adding shadows or light effects to the picture you're drawing. But what if you don't want to have this extra layer, but you wanted to stay in the line of this color? Like say, okay, if you change this to black, and well, it's over to black. But what if you wanted to just stay in the circle? Well, you can do that. Create a new layer, right click, and create a clipping mask. This allows you to color in the circle and disable and re-enable because it will fill in the solid colors. You can also add in some grayish tones. Create clipping mask. You can create a shortcut through the preferences, but in this time is a little bit of a factor. Okay, I didn't want to hit enter there. I wanted to hit enter right up here. We could take the airbrush, give it a little airbrush tone here. Then you could sample this darker color and keep going. You could shade it like this, whatever you think would be necessary. And then there's other ways you can do the shading by, again, using that same method I taught you. But you can keep adding details to this image, and it will still stay in the fill line. And you can also erase in the same concept. But, and the cool thing here are these options here. When you have like overlay, soft light, hard light, overlays for shadows, soft light, we'll try this out. Soft light gives it a softer touch. Hard light, harder touch. Vivid light, same ordeal. Linear light. And it seems for white, it's the same ordeal for most. So we'll try red. As you can see, it adds that burn to it. Now it adds a glossy tone. This adds a linear tone, a vivid tone, a hard tone, so on and so forth. Creepy as that may be. These are some coloring theories you can use. Again, if you, but for example, we'll say a great example would be if you have a sketch. Like, we'll say, we'll take the ellipse tool here and create a path, like so. Create a new layer, path, work, stroke path, brush, except, you know, say 9 pixels. No, that'd be good enough. Okay, so we'll say you have a sketch like this. Now here's a problem. Since it's a line, if you were to use the same clipping mask, for example here, it would fill that dark line. So what if we'll say, I'll give you a theory here. Instead of actually using that, we'll move this up. We'll use this layer and put a fill color. We'll say we'll put gray. Gray is usually a good color to use so that you can color in and you know when you have not enough color. So you fill in that layer, you create a new layer, you add that clipping mask to it, grab a blue color, bam, and you get that underline too. And again, you can erase it, and that dark square, the dark circle's still there. So these are some theories you can use for creating or coloring your own artwork, or even just sketching generally and color that into color or shade or do digital painting. A lot of this stuff can be used to your own advantage, so give it a shot and see what you can do with your own. If you keep experimenting with new ideas with the Photoshop software, you can actually do a lot more than what you think you could do. I'd like to thank you for watching this tutorial, lesson, whichever you want to call it, and see me next week for another one.